Hi, my name is Mansoor Nathani, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate the use of two command line utilities which are really useful in network diagnostics as well as DNS troubleshooting. The first tool is something called DIG, Domain Information Grouper, or something like that. DIG. The second one is called whois, and this is useful for looking up domain names as well as IP addresses and other information, and I'm going to demonstrate the use of both of these in just a minute. DIG is used for looking up DNS, doing DNS queries, and now both of these tools are not installed by default on a Windows 7 machine, so I'm going to show you how to install them as well. So the DNS queries, both forward, reverse, and all sorts of DNS queries, it's much better than the built-in NS lookup, and I'll show you why. So let's get started. So as we can see here, this is just a Windows 7 machine, and I tried DIG. DIG is not recognized, and neither is whois. So what I need to do is go over to the internet and download DIG. So this first link right here, and what we want is dig files 3.zip. That's the one we want, and it says to save it in C:/dig. So let's extract all to C drive dig folder, and it should show us a list of a whole bunch of utilities: dig, host, and whois, and a whole some DLLs as well. Now before this will work, we need to add that folder to our path. We do that by right clicking on computer properties, go over to advanced system settings, and then environment variables, scroll down where it says system variables and look for path. Edit this path, make sure you don't delete anything, go all the way to the end, put a colon, and then C:/dig. Now the next time we open a command prompt, oh, I didn't hit okay there. Let's see if it works. It won't work in this one, but let's try it in a new one. Okay, so if you run dig with no parameters, what it does is it queries the root name servers and lists those name servers, and the server that's being queried is right here. It's 8.8.8.8, which is my local resolver. It's the Google public DNS. But the real power of dig is when you start adding switches and command line options to it. So if we do something like dig mx gmail.com and then do put a plus trace on it, looks like a whole bunch of information, but we start with the root name servers, then we go to .com, and then we have gmail.com, and then we have the actual records which are being returned from the Google name server. So ns2.google.com, and these are the actual MX records that we queried, and you can see that the query was an MX query because it was dig space mx space gmail.com space trace. So this tells you exactly who is responsible for those queries. Now if we want to do if you want to know what the IP address is for one of these MX records, we can just do dig and the name of that MX record, and then it returns the IP address. Now if we want to know what the reverse lookup is for this IP address, we just do a dig space -x, and it returns the reverse lookup for this IP address. But what if we want to know who's the name server, which name server is actually responsible for this zone? So we just run the same query again with the trace option, and it does the same similar kind of thing. It goes to the root servers, then it goes to inaddr.arpa, which is the reverse lookup designated domain, and then it looks up the specific 74, and then it says that's Aaron is responsible for those, and then it looks up the specific 74.125, and then it says Google responsible. So we know for in fact this IP address does belong to Google because Google has been delegated the reverse lookup for this IP. Now moving on to the next tool, which is whois. And whois is a useful tool. So let's say we do whois on google.com. Perhaps that wasn't a really wise one to do, but let's have a look anyway. Google.com. So we can see here the registrar is Mark Monitor. We can see that it was created on 1997 and expires in 2020. So that's just some useful information. It also shows you the name servers that are responsible for google.com. Another interesting query with whois is you can look up an IP address. So going back to that example, we know that this is the IP address for one of the MX records. Let's do a whois on this IP address. So it tells us that this IP address has been allocated to Google. But what if we wanted to know the BGP prefix that this IP address came from? Now we can do that by doing specifying the whois host, whois.bgpmon.net. Now this gives you the exact origin AS number, which is 15169. It tells you that this IP address came from the block 74.125.114.0/23. So if you wanted to look up this route in the global routing table, that's where you would find it. We can do another one. Let's say the public DNS servers. This is from level 3. It's the whole. It's 4.0.0.9. Where this IP is coming from, and it tells you that the origin AS is 3356. Let's do one more. The open DNS servers. Tells you the block that it's coming from, and it tells you that open DNS is the prefix description, and origin AS is 36692. So there's really a lot of possibilities with just these two simple utilities, dig and whois, and I hope you enjoy using them. Thank you for watching.